Hey, Will, let's talk about the UCF game because I thought it was a really good performance. There was a rumor out there that maybe you weren't feeling so great during that game, but the unbelievable runs you had, I don't know if you have a leg injury or not. I don't believe that you do at all because you looked great running the football.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate you saying that. It was a long week of recovery and spent a lot of time in the training room. Couldn't thank my trainers enough for getting me ready to play. I didn't necessarily feel 100%, but I felt as close to 100% as I possibly could. And I felt like I wasn't gonna be killing guys out there with my legs, but I did what I had to. I felt like I was able to do what I had to do, when I needed to do it. And obviously, as the game went on, I got more and more comfortable and kind of warmed up. My leg felt good. I had that adrenaline running through me. So at the end there, I kind of found a crease and cut one up, and there was really nobody there. So it was easy for me, honestly. And my O line did such a good job of making those holes. And obviously when DJ runs for 200 yards or whatever crazy amount of yards he ran for, obviously they're going to start keying on him. So it makes it easy, and I have to be able to pull the ball and keep him honest and not just let him key in on DJ because he was having a heck of a night.
Well, it's interesting you talk about your offensive line. I mean, I think that I don't know if struggles is too harsh, but I mean the performance on the offensive line up front has been problematic. I think is probably a better term for it. But I thought this was their best performance by far. I thought you had a lot of clearance at your feet to throw the ball well. We just got done watching your tape, and it seems like you were on the front foot a lot. You had a lot of room. I would imagine that you were pretty happy with what you saw of those guys up front.
Oh, 100%. And those guys, I feel like they had been facing a lot of, kind of talk like that, like you said, kind of, people putting pressure on them, saying they needed to play better. And, I thought they were playing well from the start, but honestly, I think they really, really answered the call last week and stepped up when they needed to. And I mean, they made some really good holes for DJ to run through. And pretty much didn't get touched all game in protection. I had really good pockets all game. So, those guys are the heartbeat of what we do. And, our offense runs through, the line of scrimmage. And if we win the line of scrimmage, it's really hard to stop this offense.
Yeah, and I think, Will, one of the other interesting things that I've seen out of you this season is what you talked to us about when we were down there in good old Tarrant County, Dallas, talking to you at Big 12 Football Media Day. You were talking about how you were working on just becoming a better quarterback, being a total package. I think we really saw that, and we've seen that this year. But you look like a completely different guy this season than last season in that you're performing at a very high level, whether it's statistically. I think the eye test, you have passed that fabulously this year. Are you happy with the quality of your game that you're playing right now?
Yeah, I'm very happy with how I've been playing. Obviously, it's never going to be perfect. The one thing that I would say I've been a little critical of myself on is kind of just forcing things when they don't really need to be forced. And there's that balance of being aggressive and being smart, right? You want to take the shots when they're there and take advantage of those opportunities. But you also want to be smart and keep us on schedule. So that's something I think I've tried to emphasize in my game and get better with a little bit. Obviously, 4 turnovers is not what I want to where I want to be at, obviously. But other than that, you take away those plays, and sometimes things are going to happen. You're gonna throw a pick from time to time, but trying to just limit those opportunities and being smart when I need to be and not forcing things is something that I'm trying to focus on in this bye week and going forward. But overall, I feel like I've been playing good football and trying to just put us in situations to win and do what I have to do my 111th to let us be successful and get the win. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
You're 111th. I like that a lot. One of the interesting things you said there was about forcing things. And it seemed like, that you tend to thrive, from my eyes anyway, in rhythm. And I really feel like in this past game against UCF, it felt like you really had a good rhythm going. Talk about the rhythm of the offense and how important is that for you to thrive?
Yeah, the rhythm is everything, especially when it comes to like our offense. And Coach Klein always says, you got to keep us on schedule. And if he calls a shot play on first down, whatever it may be, it's on me to take it if it's there, but also if it's not there, don't do anything stupid. Don't put the ball in jeopardy, and try and keep us on schedule. When I say keep us on schedule, we don't want to be caught behind the sticks. Anytime we're in 3rd and 7 to 10 or 11 plus is not a good thing. We want to keep ourselves on schedule so that we're either getting first downs on first or second down, or getting ourselves in 3rd and manageable to a place where it's more like 3rd and 4 to 6, to where we feel a little better about what we can do, and keeping opening our offense a little bit more, and I think that's really good. And when we're able to do that, when I'm able to do that and make those decisions to maybe instead of forcing a post that maybe a really tough play, taking the check down for 4 yards, and 2nd and 6 is a lot better than 2nd and 10. So just being able to stay in that rhythm and get completions and get positive plays is everything, whether it's 1 yard positive rather than 3 yards back. Anything like that matters.
Look at the interception in the UCF game, because that's a really interesting part of this kind of conversation. Was that something was it going there the entire time, no matter what? Because it was an interesting play in that it happened really quick, and I think we're seeing you be very cognizant of, hey, what's the defense showing you pre-snap read? And I think you do a great job of getting rid of the football. But on that interception, it seemed like it's a tight window in tight coverage. They're body to body there. Was that a play where it was going there no matter what? Like, walk me through that particular play.
Yeah, so that play was a true RPO play. So we just had an inside zone called, and then we put glances on the outside to take advantage of it, basically, if they were packing the box. And so I looked out, and they had about 8 guys in the box, and I was like, man, this run's going to be kind of tough. But at the same time, they were in press coverage on the outside, so I knew those glances were going to be tough. We just had to win. I thought Keegan got held pretty good, but shout out to the corner. He made a really good play on it. He kind of just beat him to the spot and got to the ball. I think definitely slingshotted him a little bit, but it's beyond the point. But regardless, I just got to be smart with the ball and know when to take those opportunities to make the home run play, but also know when to just take my medicine and hand it off. And in that situation, when they're pressed, maybe we can find a crease in the run game, but also just, not putting the ball in harm's way. And I didn't, in my head, I didn't really think it was a dangerous throw. I knew it was going to be highly contested, but I didn't really expect him to jump in front of it like that. But it's something to learn from and something to look at, and just seeing, how they're playing. I know we had already ran an RPO glance on that same corner, pretty much in the same type of play. And he had figured it out. He knew that was what we were going to do out of that kind of look. So he jumped it, and, he made a really good play on it. But, just like I said, just kind of taking my medicine and not forcing things when they're not there.
So do you not go back to that call then? Like, I want to kind of get inside your head a little bit on that, because I think it's really interesting. You see a box full of UCF guys on defense, so you don't want to run that. You go to the throw. Do you stay away from that throw going forward? Like, how do you adjust to that adjustment from UCF there?
Well, if we knew if they were going to be pressing, it'd be hard to run glances, especially if we, if they were packing the box. So, we knew we had to kind of threaten them deep. So we came back to that same play actually later, but we just took the glances off of it because we wanted to get that inside zone with a plane motion, kind of a jet motion, coming to it to kind of mess with their eyes a little bit. We wanted that play to be run. It wasn't super successful, but that was kind of a way to get that play back on the field without the glances. And that's kind of, coach's way of doing it. He says, if I'm going to put the RPO on there, then, you have license to throw it. Be smart with it. Obviously, don't do anything stupid. Don't throw it if it's not wide open. But, if it's on there, you have license to throw it. So later we ran it and took it off, and that takes the thinking out of it for me and the temptation to throw it, because obviously as a quarterback, you want to throw the glance, right? You don't want to run an inside zone, so.
But it also sets you up later down the road as well. The play might not be successful in that moment, but that's going to give you opportunities. That's going to expose them to you a little bit more. So I feel like I feel like that helps you anyway. And then the other play that stood out was that kind of, I don't know what you guys call it, but the read option where you pitched it out to DJ, you rolled left and pitched that ball to the back. Like that was really effective. And is that not set up by how successful and how effective you had been running the ball?
Yeah. So that play, like you said, on that RPO play, like, if we run the ball and just, get 2 or 3 or whatever we may get, it sets up different things. It sets up the play action game. It sets up, the jet game, other things like that. And then, on that note, that option that we ran in the red zone, we actually lined up, the kind of like read option that I had run, really the inside zone that I had run into the end zone on the opposite end zone in the third quarter. We got in that exact same formation. And the first time they plussed all their backers over to the boundary because they thought we were going to run it there. And then we ran a bypass to the field and there was nobody out there. So the next time we got lined up in that same formation, pretty much the same area of the field. And they pushed their backers over to the field side because they thought we were going to run something back that way. And then we ran that little 2-back option that we had where we were just kind of dangling the D end on that side, the 9 technique. And then we were going to have a lead blocker going up to that linebacker who was there. And Christian got a really good block. And all I had to do was just, make a decision based on that 9 technique. And he made it pretty easy, just came right to me. So I just pitched it out to DJ. And it was the perfect look that we wanted for that play.
And here, as a quarterback, let me throw you up like a softball. You can't do a lot of that unless your offensive line is athletic and mobile. And I thought some of the misdirection you guys ran off of your offensive line, where there was that one play where they were all going left. DJ cut back to the right. I mean, that was whatever you call that, a counter or whatever. That was really set up by your line's athletic ability, I thought.
Oh, absolutely. And our ability to run all those gap schemes, counters, and B-gap powers and all those kind of things opens up a ton of different stuff for us as an offense. And, when you got, an option look like that and the backers are all plussed over and you got a tackle like KT that's able to kind of reach that 5 technique and scoop up to the backer, it makes it really easy for us.
Yeah. Hey, a couple more before I let you go. I want to ask you about your bye week here. This is a pretty critical period in time in the season. Yeah, I know, we're sitting here on September 28th, but I mean, this stretch you guys have coming out of the bye is really critical. What are your priorities this week with the time off?
I mean, it's huge. And, obviously we got a big game down at Oklahoma State coming off of this, and then a couple other really big games coming up. So it's going to be big for us. I try to kind of look at these bye weeks as time for, not only team improvement, but personal improvement. You can go back and look and self-scout yourself and say, what am I doing good? What am I doing bad? What do I need to work on? I feel like a lot of what I've been trying to work on this week is like deep ball accuracy, trying to be smart with the ball, kind of like I said earlier, taking my shots when I have them and being smart when I need to, and kind of working on those things personally for me. And then obviously, trying to get ahead on Oklahoma State because, they have a bye week too. So we got to factor that into it. So we're both going to be kind of double prepared for this game. So trying to stay ahead on it, but also, keep that one week at a time mentality.
Hey, before I let you go, we have to shout out the sweatshirt game because, I mean, here we are. It's coming in October. You got the look going, dude. Is that your favorite sweatshirt?
It really might be. We just got it like 2 days ago. So shout out to Serby and our equipment staff. I've seen this around campus. A bunch of like students have it and got it probably at Rally House or something. I was like, when are we going to get that? And
yeah, how does the quarterback not have the sweatshirt when the students do?
You would think, right? But hey, we got it. We got it in due time. So
you tell him Will Howard's a big deal. He gets the sweatshirt first, my man. Hey, good to see you again. Yeah. Congratulations on a great start to the season, and nothing but the best, and stay healthy.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on again. Great seeing you.